Part 362. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3611. Everyone is a member of the Temple of the Alliance of Light. In their themes, the true God is the most noble existence. It is a great honor to be able to hook up with the true God even a little bit. Wang Tu held his head high. He was already ready. Holy light fell in the air. Seeing that he was already approaching his position. Whoosh! The sound of the breaking wind pierced through the beat, and then the holy light actually floated directly in front of his eyes, and then landed in front of a young man not far away. At the same time, the beautiful phantom under the crown of Athena, the goddess of wisdom, also appeared in front of the young man. Who is he? Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, gritted his teeth, and subconsciously twitched the corners of his mouth. At this moment, thinking secretly in my heart, I can't help but feel resentment and anger in my heart. I can't stand it anymore. Just thinking about bursting out in full force. I want to let out all the messy emotions in my heart. Only in this way can the heart be happy. Otherwise, you will be so anxious that you will explode in an instant. This time the feeling was in place, and the mind exploded on the spot. It's just nothing. Play with the hammer. In the end, there was total silence on the spot. Shui Wanren is standing beside that young man. Is that young man a student of Guangming Academy? It's just a student. How can I receive special attention from the goddess? Why? First-class Saint Wang Tu naturally felt very unfair. But for a while, he didn't burst out directly. At the very least, all aspects can be fully stabilized. Not even the most basic image is ignored. There are still many people gathered for this visual feast at this moment. Little friend Fang Fan is really extraordinary. I didn't expect to be blessed by the goddess alone. I have long felt that Fang Fan's little friend Jinlin is not a thing in the pool. Xia Xiaotian, commander of the city guards of Guangming City, his eyes lit up, thinking to himself, then nodded silently, and the smiles on his face gradually increased. This time, all kinds of feelings are reflected in place, and it seems that it looks a little different. It's a wonderful feeling. It's him. Hateful. That bastard. Why? Why does the goddess take care of him but not me? Ah. Why? Where am I? Hateful. Hateful. Why didn't he die? Cao Man, the young lord of Guangming God City, is full of jealousy at this moment. He was cut off by his father himself before, and turned into a human stick, but now he has been pulled back, and his limbs have been reconnected. But now I'm still a little inflexible, so I can only lie on my stomach. Seeing this picture now, the resentment and anger in my heart have accumulated to the extreme. The more he said, the more his body trembled. The more she talks, the more vicious her face becomes. He is the majestic young city lord of the bright God City. Why is he not as good as this hateful bastard again and again? Isn't he just a first-year student of Guangming Academy? Background. There is no background at all. It is said that it comes from a third-class sanctuary of rubbish. Just such rubbish. Why fight with him? Women are his. Appreciation is his. The merit is his. Now even the goddess favors him. Jealousy can seem crazy at times. Thinking about this silently in his heart, his expression became more and more resentful. Gradually, the whole body and mind burst into place, and the surrounding air exploded little by little, as if everything in front of me was being cut crazily. Cutting and cutting, it was completely speechless for a while. Those servants around are hiding far away at this moment, not daring to approach easily. This guy is crazy. The closer he got, the more he looked like a lunatic. If you get close to him, you may be slapped to death at any time. Not necessary. Still hold on. Mentally collapsed, don't waver. What are you yelling for? Don't you think it's not thorough enough to be ashamed? Do you have to let everyone know that I, Cao Tang, have such a useless and jealous son like you? Cao Tang, the lord of Guangming God City, stepped forward, his face extremely unhappy. I don't know good and bad things. How did I give birth to such a son? Why? If my son can have the ability of Fang Fan, wouldn't I be a father every day? Unfortunately, all this is just a fantasy. Nothing. Garbage to the max. The more I think about it, the more disturbed I feel. This thing can't be compared. The more you compare, the more you fail, the more rubbish and more irritable. Nothing. This little thing is like a boudoir resentful woman all day long. The more I look at it, the more annoying it gets. Ah. You still have my son in your heart. I thought you wanted to abolish me a long time ago, so that you can have a son yourself. Oh, I almost forgot, you seem to have lost your fertility. You can't give birth, can you? Why? In addition, you have already killed your whole family because of your stupid operation. So I am now your only son. Good guy, so that's the case. If you kill me, you will have no children or grandchildren. I have now become the means for you to continue the incense. I understand everything. Isn't it just that little thing? Fancy bells and whistles. Since you can't kill me, don't gossip about other things. It's nothing. It's annoying to hear. Grass. Where did you really think you were noble? What? Cao man was completely lost. At this moment, all the previous depressed moods were suppressed together. The more I talked, the more excited I became, and the more I talked, the louder my voice became. Gradually, it made people's brains buzz. All speech, complete silence on the spot. After finishing speaking, there was silence at the moment. Cluck cluck cluck. Click, click. Invisibly, it seems to be able to hear some strange sounds made by the rubbing of bones. For a while, all the attention is focused here. For a while, many words are silent on the spot, and I don't know what to express. Very complicated. Very real. If possible, Cao Teng really wants to zi. Oh shit. It's so irritating. This dog, now looks confident. Do you really think of yourself as a character? Grass. If it weren't for me supporting you in front, what kind of thing are you? Do you really have no points in your heart? But if you say 1,000 words and 10,000, no matter how angry you are in your heart, this is indeed your only seedling. Can hurt at will, but can't kill. Otherwise, the incense may really be cut off. People, after all, they still have to leave something for themselves. If the son is useless, he can continue to raise his grandson. Children and grandchildren, endless. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3612. Snort. Just wait for me. Don't give me these bastards. Snort. It's okay, don't act like a resentful woman, grudges come and go. What is the use? Snort. Have time to study the abilities of that Fang Fan. Why is there such a big gap between you? The resources I gave you are thousands of times better than that Fang Fan. But what did you bring me back? Shame again and again. Snort. Reflect on yourself. Cao Teng snorted coldly, then walked over with disgust on his face, his eyes scanned the distance, his expression was unpredictable, and his mental outlook changed significantly for a while. He looked into the distance with a thoughtful look on his face. Being so blessed by the true God, this son's future is limitless. If you really leave time for him to develop, I'm afraid it will be easy to advance to the demigod realm in the future. If the future continues to develop, maybe you can enter the top floor of the temple. According to the normal situation, a future son like this must establish a good relationship in advance. Call. But now, it seems that there are not many opportunities. The relationship between each other has long been muddy. Several conflicts have accumulated together, and it has long been a life and death relationship. In this case, it's really useless to talk too much. Since the relationship can no longer be reconciled, such a danger can only be killed in the cradle. Isn't it possible to keep such a danger forever? I'm not that stupid. Looking for an opportunity, we must get rid of it. Too dangerous. Cao Tang, the lord of Guangming God City, squinted his eyes, thinking to himself, the sharp colors on his face gathered all over, and gradually, there seemed to be a sense of explosion in his whole body, and for a while, he was full of urgency. Because the holy white light in the sky has not disappeared, everyone's eyes still reveal excitement and surging. And more people are attracted. Caog, the former inspector of the city guard who had just been castrated, walked over with a trembling body. Seeing the familiar figure in front of him, his expression trembled for a moment. My mind is broken. Play. Keep playing? What's so funny about this? Bastard. What the hum is a bastard? Roll. Get out. It's all bastard stuff. Rubbish. Total rubbish. One counts as one. They are all enemies of my Caog. Bearing the brunt, Xia Xiaotian personally castrated me. But I can't beat Xia Xiaotian. I hate this Fang Fan the most. It's the existence of this bastard that makes me suffer endless pressure again and again. Die. He must die. Kill him. Kill him. Then there's Cao Man, this son of a bitch, who worked hard for him, and sold me out at the critical moment. Dog. He has no credit at all. Damn it. The other one is Cao Tang. Het. You can still be considered my clan brother. But what the hell is this all about? Is this a human thing? One is more shameless than the other. One is more despicable than the other. One counts as one, don't even try to run away. If you find a suitable opportunity, I will send you all away. Caog licked his lips, inexplicably feeling a sense of restlessness coming from his lower body. Itchy, so itchy. Call. Damn it. Damn it all. Not a single good thing. The whole shit is nothing. Sooner or later, you will all pay the price. Death. Everyone must die. Caog couldn't help stretching out his hands, and then put them into his crotch, scratching frantically. At this moment, slices of blood clots flashed in front of my eyes, and it seemed quite disgusting for a while. Why is Xia Xiaoshan's sword so weird? I have used so many precious elixirs, but they can't heal my wounds. Ah, it's so itchy. Why am I suffering here? Can you all enjoy bliss? All happy. All happy. Now I am in the mid-range cannon fodder of the Pioneer Battalion, and that is day after day. Call. Maybe one day I'll be completely cold. Enough of this kind of life. I don't want to go on anymore. Ah. Ah. The roaring sound gradually increased, and it seemed quite oppressive for a while, and then it shook people's soul violently. It may be a bit difficult to rely on my own ability to take revenge now. If we can cooperate with that trash of Cao Man, maybe we still have a chance. Although I'm also very tired of that trash, but at this moment, let's bear with it. Call. After killing everyone else, it's his turn to die. Well. That's right. In that case, I will bear the humiliation first. After I finish the task, the real moment of joy will be. The meaning of my life, Caog, is revenge. If I'm not doing it now for revenge, my life will be meaningless. Caog took his hands from under his body, and an indescribable bloody stench came from him. Caog licked his lips, and then licked the blood stained on his hands. At this moment, he didn't care about it at all, on the contrary, he seemed quite comfortable. Thinking secretly in my heart, my eyebrows were raised in an all-round way, and my mentality couldn't help but become ecstatic. No pain, no gain. Of course, he understood this truth. Anyway, now he has nothing to lose. It doesn't matter. Let's explode. The moment of full takeoff is just around the corner. Caog silently stared ahead, watching the phantom of the goddess of wisdom Athena slowly fall in front of Fang Fan. Everything seemed so unimaginable. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and then glanced at the familiar figure in front of him. His facial expression seemed a bit complicated. Want to say something? Many words slowly followed by silence. When I was in the third-class sanctuary of Qingtian, I encountered this Athena goddess of wisdom once. At that time, in order to fool Brother Dongguo, he also said that he were once the subordinate gods of this Athena goddess of wisdom. For it. After a long time, there was no movement. I didn't expect to see the scene again today. Fang Fan had a complex face, frowning at this moment, looking at the beautiful figure of the goddess in front of him. He seemed a little numb for a while. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 3613. Memories came like a flood. Fang Fan sighed leisurely, then shook his head silently. There are more and more things that come to mind. I still remember the way Brother Dongguo was fooled by him back then. Although it was only an expedient measure and a white lie at the time, but flickering is after all a flickering. If he could see Brother Dongguo at this moment, Fang Fan would still like to explain it carefully. After all, this matter is indeed a bit complicated. There are many layers involved. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, suddenly feeling a lot of thoughts. What are you up to? Fang Fan opened his mouth, and then asked silently. While talking, he walked a few steps towards the phantom of Athena, the goddess of wisdom, and then subconsciously stretched out his hand, wanting to feel what kind of existence this phantom is. So soft. It's really just like a real person. Fang Fan's eyes lit up, and while he was talking, the expression on his face was unpredictable. While talking, the whole person was stunned. This is really different. All aspects involved are particularly complicated. What Fang Fan touched at this moment was the waist of Athena, the goddess of wisdom. Because it feels good in the hand, Fang Fan couldn't help touching it a few more times. Excellent feel. It's like touching a sable fur. Meticulous and tender. Fang Fan nodded, and then commented from the side. For a moment, the audience was silent on the spot. Immediately I didn't want to say anything. It's just so numb. Good guy. What the hell, can it still be so beautiful? This. What a goddess. It is the phantom body of Athena, the goddess of wisdom. You actually touch it? Do you want to comment on it with a face of enjoyment? What the hell is this operation? No matter how daring you are, you still need to control your emotions at this time. If you do this, the whole audience will collapse in blood. For a while, my brain was buzzing. What else can this express? Speech is completely silent. Others, I don't want to say more, they are nothing. So be it. Ma on the spot. Everyone knows this feeling. This bastard, what does he want to do? Does he want to turn the world upside down? Then but the goddess. Even if you are daring, you have to be patient. That's how you get started. I. How could Her Majesty the Goddess bless this guy? Shui Wanren, deputy head of the Guangming Academy, immediately followed suit. If it wasn't forced by the situation at this moment, he would have rushed forward, and would have kicked Fang Fan viciously. This guy, this is not worrying for a moment. What exactly do you want to do? Cough. As expected of my great Uncle G's disciple. This courage, is invincible. But it's a little reckless. Touch it after you touch it, what are you evaluating? Really are. Isn't this deliberately provoking fire? Why? This goddess Athena will not just take back the blessing like this. Wouldn't that be followed by a blood loss? Taishaji raised his eyebrows, and he was thinking of this direction at the moment. The more I thought about it, the more flickering my eyes became. Messy thoughts gathered in my heart, and thoughts gradually increased. Gradually, it also became more complicated. The expression is flickering, the thoughts are rushing. Slowly, it became quite interesting. How to develop next, and where to go, these are the most important things. Are you still thinking about blessings? This bastard has already done this kind of thing. It's not bad for Goddess Athena to kill him directly without imposing divine punishment. How about a blessing? Why? Such a good situation has ruined this kid alive. This bastard. Does he know what he is doing now? It's a mess. Call. I'm furious. This is too hasty. There are so many women. Still the same. The country is easy to change, and the nature is hard to change. Shui Wanren gritted his teeth, the roar was endless. It's about to explode right now. Forward. This. It's nothing. Are you guys getting too nervous? Bai Piao scratched the back of his head, then sighed subconsciously. If he remembers correctly, the phantom of the goddess Athena also appeared once, and that time it seemed to kiss Fang Fan? It's been a long time since it happened, so I can't remember it for a while. But this is what it is. In a way, there's nothing falsifying about it either. Or rather, it has always been so true. It's useless to think too much. Anyway, keep calm and be done with this mentality. Snort. How dare you insult Her Majesty the Goddess? It must be severely punished. Die. In the distance, there was a blasting sound, and the surrounding space was torn apart little by little. For a moment, there was a strong sense of oppression, which made people feel endless panic and anxiety deep in the soul. At this moment, he shrunk his neck, wanting to say something, many words gathered in his heart, but he didn't know what to express. The messy thoughts seemed to be more real at the moment. Yes, it's Wang disciple saint. It's him. The president of our light camp fighting against the Protoss this time. Why is this big guy being bombed out? What is he doing here? I see AO, it looks like I'm going to target that Fang Fan. Heh, can you not be targeted? This Fang Fan is really awesome. Blessed by the true God, or blessed by a goddess, this is a great thing that many people dream of. If someone else encounters it, why don't you immediately kneel down and kowtow to thank you? When I came to this person, I didn't care about it. I even thought that the phantom under the crown of the goddess Athena was beautiful, but, even stretched out a salty pig's hand to caress the waist of the goddess, and described its graceful touch. Hey, how awesome is that? Explode. Explode directly. They are so strong, what the hell can you do? Huh. Damn it, absolutely, absolutely. It's really amazing. No matter what other people say, anyway, I am totally convinced by Fang Fan now. Strong. Really too strong. Convinced. Really convinced. Explode directly. Be detonated directly. Strong. Really strong. Take off. A wave takes off directly. Amazing class. This is my idol. How dare he? If it were me, I would have already softened. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3614. At the moment, Fang Fan has gained a lot of fans. The atmosphere in the audience is so exciting at this moment. There is nothing else to say, continue to follow and explode the audience. At this moment, many cultivators from the dark camp came forward, saw Fang Fan's figure, and saw Fang Fan's movement of stroking the waist of the goddess Athena, and immediately started roaring excitedly. It's him! It's him! This is a repeat offender. He defiled the starry night goddess of our dark camp back then. It turned out to be this beast. Grass. Is this also polluting the goddess Athena? Good guy, the goddess of the dark and light department, don't let go. Damn it, don't say it, it's like this, I really admire it, ordinary people can't do it at all. Hey, envy, jealousy, hatred, what else can I say? Crack. Really crack. Strong. Strong. Really strong. Take off. Take off directly. Isn't this purely because the goddess harvester is bad? Don't say it, if I have such an opportunity, I will definitely not be able to grasp it. Those who can grasp it are not ordinary people. Hey, everyone laughs at Fang Fan, everyone is jealous of Fang Fan. That Fang Fan seems to have offended the big boss. The first-class saints of the Temple of the Light Alliance rushed up. It seems that they want to kill Fang Fan directly. Hey, it's a bit of a pity, but it's true, this pretentiousness has reached this level. If you are punished a little, shouldn't it be right? This F***ing really has no reason at all. Hold on and don't wave, it's not a big problem. Why do I feel that Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, didn't seem to be purely to protect the majesty of the goddess? I always feel that he rushed out at the first time because of envy, jealousy, and hatred. SHH, don't want to live anymore? Do you dare to say that? Even if it's true, you can't just say it casually. Hey, people are hard to break down, who is not jealous and envious? For it. Is there a saying? Normal people, everyone is normal, so there is some normal thinking, isn't it normal? So, there is no need to make a fuss. There is a high probability that Fang Fan will die immediately. It's good to die. Don't keep wandering in front of me, I'm almost envious and jealous. There were more and more chattering voices. The atmosphere in the audience gradually became anxious. Everyone's emotions were well displayed, with smiles on their faces. When it comes to speaking, the posture is fully displayed. This wave seems particularly real. There are also more distinct traces between each other, and everyone understands. Definitely, and bash. The development of the situation is still very rhythmic. Saint Wang. Don't. What you do? The eye sockets of Shui Wanren, deputy master of Guangming Academy, tightened for a while, and then he saw Wang Tu's movements, and suddenly became tense, and then gathered all the strength of his body, and directly rushed over. The speed was extremely fast. He wanted to stop the attack of Wang Tu, the first-class saint of the Temple of the Light Alliance. You can't just watch Fang Fan being attacked to death by this guy, can you? Speaking of which, this Wang disciple is really meddling with a mouse. As the president's commander-in-chief, if you don't do something real, come here to do these things. Bells and whistles. Shui Wanren had a dissatisfied expression on his face, and he didn't dare to slack off at the moment, his speed was extremely fast. Snort. Step aside. The first-class Saint Wangtu's eyes flickered with sullen anger, and then his whole body's strong demigod realm burst out, and Shui Wanren was directly repelled. After all, there is still a large gap in combat power between the two. From this point of view, the gap is indeed not small. There is a gap, but it is quite normal. But now that Shui Wanren was retreating, it was too difficult to catch up with this first-class saint, Wangtu. At this moment, Wangtu rushed towards Fang Fan. Shui Wanren gritted his teeth, his face flickered with fear. This later, nothing will happen later. Difficult, too difficult. My brain is buzzing. This taste, how can I say a hammer? I can't catch up. Fang Fan is in danger. Ah! Hugh hurts my apprentice. Uncle G roared loudly, his eyes instantly turned blood red, and then bursts of spatial shattering sounded from the surrounding area. Because the speed was too fast, the flesh and blood on Tai Shiji's body was cut open little by little. The space storm pierced Tai Shiji's body, and he also didn't care. It doesn't matter. Don't think too much about it at all. That's how I feel, in all aspects, it's pretty good. No need to think too much, just tense your nerves. Snort. Overreach. Wangtu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, sneered, and then waved his hand. Powerful spiritual power swept Tai Shiji's body. Even though Tai Shiji tried his best, it was still difficult to sprint over at this moment. So he could only watch helplessly as this first-class saint, Wangtu, rushed towards Fang Fan's place. Disciple. Run. Run. Uncle G let out a heart-piercing roar, and the roar became more and more shrill, as if everything around him was completely shattered, and all of a sudden, everything exploded. Soon, Wangtu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Light Alliance, approached Fang Fan. Fang Fan squinted his eyes flickered, thinking that he should go to the small world of Shushan Pavilion to avoid it. These people are really fancy. I don't even know what's on my mind. Fang Fan simply wanted to feel what kind of existence this goddess phantom was, so he fumbled a few times with his hands. What the hell is bothering you? One by one, the crowd was excited. And this first-class saint, Wangtu, is even more like a sand sculpture. Is this trying to come over and kill me? Oh shit. What kind of crazy thinking is this? A normal brain can't think of these messy things. Just when Fang Fan was about to run away, the phantom of the goddess of wisdom Athena suddenly moved, and then turned to look at the first-class saint Wangtu. Immediately afterwards, a powerful impetus was transmitted. When this first-class saint, Wangtu, was about to arrive, this force was suddenly released. Boom! The body of the first-class saint Wangtu was stopped abruptly, and then his body suddenly fell like a kite with a broken string. Boom! It fell heavily on the ground, looking quite miserable. Cough. Ahem. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3615. As soon as the Saint Wangtu coughed, he began to vomit blood. This state seems rather miserable. At this moment, I felt it a little bit, and suddenly frowned, with a solemn expression. Wangtu, the first-class saint, is a strong demigod existence. The president of the Light Camp versus the god of War clan. How did such a person become like this? For a moment, completely aphasia. Just now, it seemed to be the hand of the phantom under the crown of the goddess Athena, suddenly surged with surging energy. Could it be that Her Majesty the goddess Athena was dissatisfied with the sudden attack of the first-class Saint Wangtu? Think he's redundant? Or do you want to protect Fang Fan? Immediately, the surrounding whispers increased. How can Her Majesty the goddess Athena treat Fang Fan so well? Is this Fang Fan really a god-favored person? For a moment, all kinds of voices of jealousy gathered together, the posture of gnashing teeth was fully displayed, and the state of mind collapsed for a while. I wanted to say something and do something, but there was a complete silence. How come? How so? Cough, 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 cough. Your Majesty must have misunderstood me. Call. It must be me who regards me as some kind of impolite offender. I just want to clean up the bastards that insult the goddess. Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, gritted his teeth, and strands of blood began to fall crazily along the corners of his mouth. At this moment, he didn't care at all, just looking at it with his eyes, deep in his mind, all kinds of tyrannical feelings surged. In my heart, I feel somewhat irritable and resentful. Who is he? Honorable first-class saint of the Temple of the Alliance of Light? Who dares to compete with the distinguished status? In the Temple of the Alliance of Light, he is only under the crown of the Pope. Today, I suffered endless humiliation here. Can you bear it? Wang Tu strode forward, and now he just wanted to ask what happened. Can this matter still work? Hateful. Really hateful. The thoughts gather here, and the brilliance in the eyes gathers in an all-round way. The sense of tyranny grew more and more. Your Majesty the Goddess. What did I do wrong? You want to treat me like this? Your Majesty, I have never harbored any malice. The heart of my fist is known by the sun and the moon. Your Majesty the Goddess. The roar was fully in place, and the first-class Saint Wang Tu walked forward with a face of dissatisfaction while supporting his waist. While speaking, he held his head high and his chest high, with a full posture. That posture and that expression are fully displayed. For a while, there was a silence around. This is getting more and more exciting. Good guy. Looking at this picture, it looks particularly exciting. Actually want to ask the goddess Athena for an explanation? It is worthy of being the first-class saint of the Temple of the Light Alliance. After a brief silence, the atmosphere in the audience became more and more enthusiastic. Everyone focused their energy in front of their eyes, full of excitement, and many words gathered in their hearts, and they didn't know what to say anymore. Slowly, fully following the urgency. Did Goddess Athena reply? This seems to be a phantom, right? Maybe you don't even have the most basic consciousness, how do you reply? Isn't this bullshit? Tisk, you don't understand this kind of thing, there's something clever about it? Hey. Hey. Interesting. Really interesting. Just follow the full takeoff. If someone else said it, Her Majesty the Goddess might not reply, but this Lord Wang Tu is a first-class saint in the temple. Second only to His Majesty the Pope, he is still a strong semi-divine existence, even if it is a true God. They have a little face. How else can you say that you are still young, that is the true God? I am afraid you don't even know what the true God represents. Then you are talking nonsense here? Huh. This. That's it? Talk about a hammer. Who said I don't know? I just know, so, that's why I asked. Forget it, it's useless to talk too much, if you don't understand, you still don't understand if you continue to talk. Quick, look, the phantom under the goddess's crown seems to be moving. The shouts of excitement gradually increased, and when the scene moved slightly, the audience began to be excited and suppressed. For a while, it became more and more crazy. Stimulate. Now it's really exciting. Once the stimulation is in place, everything will be stabilized. Steady as Mount Tai. Directly follow the full takeoff. This feeling is so comfortable. Leisurely, in fact, it is quite good. The phantom of the goddess Athena turned her head silently, and looked at Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light. Wang Tu hurriedly raised his head and chest, trying to improve his image as much as possible. At this moment, he was panting violently, and then swallowed saliva frantically, his eyeballs were full of excitement and surging. Can't stand it anymore. It took off directly. Exploding. So exciting. Her Majesty the Goddess paid attention to him. He, Wangtu, lost face again. He Wangtu is still very good. Otherwise, Her Majesty the Goddess would talk to him. Ah! That is absolutely impossible. Thinking silently in my heart, my expression suddenly surged to the extreme. Even with Wangtu's current heart, he couldn't help the shivering in his calves. All in all, it is especially exciting and trembling. All the feelings in my heart gradually came into place. That's how it took off. How impulsive. The face showed a rosy color, and the eyes were wandering around. Her Majesty the Goddess, rest well. Your Majesty, that little thief has the audacity to dare to be rude to you. It's not convenient for Her Majesty to take action. I will get rid of this little thief for Her Majesty the Goddess. This is what I should do. Wangtu lowered his head cautiously, and at this moment he was even thinking about whether he should just crawl on the ground. Are you teaching me how to do things? The ethereal sound came from the phantom, like a dream, making people feel unreal. But it is foreseeable that this must be the words spoken by the Athena goddess of wisdom. Words from God. God is alive. He was actually talking. The audience is boiling. Countless people followed suit. They all prayed that the great true God could satisfy all their wishes. In their imagination, the true God is an invincible existence. The whole area exploded. The living true God is right in front of you. They have been praying for countless years, and there will always be a burning desire in their hearts. If he can be caught by the true God, maybe he can directly ascend to the realm of the gods from now on. Will we still be living endless days of enjoyment by then? All of a sudden, my whole body gathered in it and became extremely excited. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3616. There is still a dream, what if it comes true? Everyone thinks they are the child of destiny. They all feel that they can fully take off. As everyone knows, when the time comes, it's just a slap in the face. How about yourself, do you have no points in your heart? Return the son of destiny. At this moment, Athena, the goddess of wisdom, said you are teaching me how to do things, which directly confused Wangtu. How do you say that? Why does it sound like the rhythm is not right? Opening his mouth, he became numb inexplicably. When I wanted to say something, many words seemed to be completely silent. Here. Your Majesty the Goddess. You, what do you mean? I don't quite understand. The first-class Saint Wangtu took a deep breath, and his brows could not help but frown. Thinking to himself, his expression gradually became numb. The thinking in this heart gradually became extremely complicated. What should be said is what matters. If you don't say anything, just be so silent, it just feels weird. Mess. You are dismissed. An indifferent sound came, and it came from the phantom sword under the crown of the goddess Athena. While speaking, he expressed the most indifferent heart. Wangtu. Roll. Let me go. This attitude seems quite disgusting. What did the saint do? Why do you treat me like this? Hateful. Terrible. This saint is helping you eradicate the traitors. This is helping you. Can't you see it? This saint is sincere to you. What the hell, are they all fed to the dogs? God. What happened to God? Can the true God follow him without thinking? The first-class Saint Wangtu is full of resentment at this moment. But he naturally didn't dare to directly reveal these thoughts in his heart, he hadn't done that yet. At this moment, he could only secretly hate in his heart, and then began to gnash his teeth, silently expressing his dissatisfaction. But on the bright side, you still have to show a nod and bow to the true God. Your Majesty, you may have misunderstood your most sincere believer. This bastard is taking advantage of you. I am serving you, in order to maintain your majesty. As your most loyal believer, I really can't stand it anymore. You may not care about your magnanimity, but your most loyal believer must help you get justice. Wang Tu yelled a few words, and slowly his body and mind became numb. I saw that the welcome from Athena, the goddess of wisdom, opened her arms very openly, and then hugged Fang Fan directly. Goddess Shuiying and Fang Fan fit together perfectly, and it really feels like a fairy couple. The more I look at it, the more my scalp feels numb. What is this wave trying to do? It's really hard to grasp. It's all gaudy. Continue to fix it? All the way back and forth, it became like this. If it is true that Fang Fan took the initiative to caress the waist of the goddess Athena before, then this time the hug was completely initiated by the goddess Athena. Fang Fan, on the other hand, was stunned and completely at a loss. Good guy. This is far from what he expected. It just feels different. A sense of bells and whistles, in full attack. That's it? Is the goddess so direct? Did this Fang Fan have some ulterior relationship with this goddess Athena before she was crowned? Otherwise, why would Her Majesty the goddess take the initiative to throw herself into her arms? For a moment, the eyes of the audience flooded over. Everyone is asking themselves, what the hell is wrong with me? Me, the more I play, the bigger I think that Fang Fan is going to be cool, and the co-author is getting more and more valued by the goddess. Hey, why do I feel that Her Majesty the goddess Mian seems to be having an affair with this boss Fang Fan? Could it be that boss Fang Fan is the reincarnation of a true god? And boss Fang Fan's previous true god body was the favorite person under the crown of goddess Athena? Is there such a possibility? Why does it sound like a lie to me? Isn't everyone discussing it? How do you say this thing? Possibilities and so on still exist. It's amazing, it's really amazing now. Fun, so much fun. Such a boss is actually in front of us. We should not be too honored. Take off and take off directly. The shouting around could not help but increase. The crowd was excited. One by one, they started to show their teeth and claws, and they were extremely excited. Impossible. I'm dazzled. I'm sure I'm still playing the role. Otherwise, how could such an impossible thing happen in front of me? Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, was grinding his teeth. At this moment, his heart suddenly became silent. All kinds of thoughts in my heart gradually faded away. As if not knowing what to say. A lot of thinking is gathered in an all-round way, but it is nothing. Is this? Continue to adjust? The key is how to deal with it. My brain collapsed on the spot, and my thoughts rushed to the extreme. All kinds of ups and downs in my heart seemed to be savored. It's complicated, it's hard. It's you. It was you who bewitched Her Majesty the Goddess. That's why Her Majesty the Goddess made such an absurd act. What kind of sorcery do you practice? Wang Tu, the first-class saint, naturally didn't want to just let it go. At this moment, he snorted coldly, and continued to follow the strong words. The posture continued to attack Fang Fan's position. I said that. Roll. There was a sound of anger, and the anger of goddess Athena was immediately full. Immediately, powerful spiritual power frantically oppressed. Even though this Wang disciple is a strong demigod, he still has no power to resist in front of the true God. In other words, he didn't dare to resist from the bottom of his heart, thinking that he would definitely not be able to fight. There is such a particularly profound psychological hint deep in my heart. With the psychological hint in place, everything in front of him will be completely locked and burned. Now is the craziest moment. Instant burst. Instant lock. Instant obliteration. Instant death. Boom. Wang Tu's body fell heavily on the ground again, and the injury was obviously more serious now. Cough. Puff. Spitting out a mouthful of reverse blood, Wang Tu curled up with cold sweat on his forehead. Because of jealousy, he actually did so many things. Only when you are infinitely close to death can you feel the true meaning of survival. Just now, he really almost felt that he was dead. That feeling lingers in my heart. To be honest, it's really not very good. Thinking about it this time, a sense of extreme stupidity swept through my body. He actually tried to attack the goddess. He has deviated from his original intention. Her Majesty the Goddess was furious. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3617. It is useless to say 1,000 words and 10,000, and the others are useless. From the moment you step down, you should show your proper posture. If I continue to attack and anger Her Majesty may really take away my soul and leave me without a place to die. It was like being possessed by a demon just now, and endless jealousy emerged in my heart. It's just that I have a picture. Why is this young man so lucky? Why? To be favored by Her Majesty the Goddess. This kind of life is the most complete. Damn. Really hateful. The gesture of gnashing teeth gathered in an all-round way, and the anger in my heart gradually came into place. But so what? He didn't dare to continue attacking. I can only look at it numbly. Wang Tu doesn't need to understand carefully, he can clearly perceive that there are countless people around him waiting to see his jokes. These people, oh, not a single good thing. I'm afraid they are all complaining about themselves and despising themselves. Isn't that what happened? My apprentice, Megatron. Strong. Better than his master. I go. Is my apprentice so charming? Even Her Majesty the Goddess wants to embrace him. This. When did my apprentice hook up with Athena, Goddess of Wisdom, again? This opportunity. Why? As a master, I have never enjoyed it. So happy. Grand Uncle G opened his mouth, and then couldn't help sighing. Anyway, he felt quite envious of what he said. The more you talk, the more energetic you are, and the more you talk, the faster your expression changes. At this moment, the eyebrows were raised, and the eyes gradually became erratic. Needless to say about other things for the time being, this posture will gradually show up in place. Isn't that what all kinds of words and sayings are like? It's very real, and it's very clear. For a moment, I was completely speechless, and I didn't know what to say. That's it. Although it is said that a disciple does not have to be inferior to a teacher, but this surpasses too much, and it is a bit uncomfortable. Ah. From what you mean, do you also want to be favored and embraced by the goddess? Looking at you is quite honest, I didn't expect you to have so many crooked thoughts. Wu Meiling, deputy head of the Guangming Academy, twisted her plump figure, and while talking, couldn't help but glared at Taishiji with hatred. For a time, the style is infinite. The jealousy expressed was very obvious. Grand Uncle G is not stupid, at the moment he can only keep giggling from the sidelines. Otherwise, there seems to be nothing else to say. It's weird. Why? It's time to eat dog food again. I've eaten hemp for a long time. I used to eat cannibal dog food, but now it's fine, even the goddess is in place. Fang Fan, I'm getting more and more incomprehensible. This guy, how many secrets does he have? Secretly poking the ground, will the goddess be crowned? In the future, I will never pretend to say that I know Fang Fan boy. The boy Fang Fan I know is too one-sided. This gap should not be too obvious. It's numb. This wave is really numb. Bai Piao shook his head at the moment, then sighed softly. At this moment, there was a look of lovelessness on his face. The whole person is buzzing. Others are missing, what else can I say? For it. Everything else is fine. It's just why this Wang Tu first-class saint keeps targeting brother Fang Fan. What does he mean? Zhuo Qiuyao raised his eyebrows, and then asked a question. Snored. What else could it mean? It's clearly a provocation. Asshole. I understand it, this is not a good thing. WTF. What first-class saint? This is the first-class saint. How many times do you insist on attacking my apprentice? That little narrow-mindedness, it's like other people don't know. Who doesn't understand? It's nothing. When this guy first saw the blessing of the holy light, he probably thought it was given to him. Later, I saw this blessing befalling my apprentice, so I naturally felt uneasy. Once you are unhappy, you will naturally reveal the tyranny in your heart. Then isn't that the scene? I want to satisfy the perverted feeling in his heart by obliterating my apprentice. I didn't realize it before, but now it seems that this guy is a villain through and through. Just such a villain, what qualifications does he have to be the president of my light camp? Grass. What on earth is the Pope thinking? Sending such a person over? Impressed. The current Temple of the Alliance of Light has always been a mess. It feels different from before. With this messy situation, when will it be possible to change it a little bit? It's nothing. Now it's completely clear. Tai Shiji is not afraid of anything. There is something to say at this moment. By the way, he fully displayed the dissatisfaction in his heart. The more you talk, the more excited you are, and the more you talk, the more surging. These words and deeds represent a master's restless heart. Uncle G. Be careful. Don't talk nonsense. Be careful that the walls have ears. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, groaned, and then followed up with a reminder. If these words reach the ears of Wangtu, the first-class saint, the people of Guangming Academy will probably be made things difficult for them. He sighed for no reason. Ah! Even if Wangtu is here, I would say the same. If he has the ability, he will kill me directly. As long as you can't kill me, I will pay this debt back sooner or later. Snored. When I step into the demigod realm, I will settle the score. Uncle G curled his lips, and then couldn't help clenching his teeth. In his heart he was motivated to practice hard. Otherwise, what kind of bullying would this F***ck be, and I wouldn't dare to go directly to the bloody battle to the end. For someone with a violent temper like Tai Shiji, this wave is too difficult. Sometimes the brain keeps trembling. It's all gaudy, after all, there must be a standard of measurement. Otherwise, being targeted like this is always uncomfortable in my heart. Seeing Tai Shiji like this, Shui Wanren also looked helpless. This guy has such a temper, what can he do? He was born with a generous temper. It seems that I have never seen him serve anyone. Shui Wanren squinted his eyes, looking at the figure of Wangtu not far away, his eyes couldn't help flickering fiercely. What happened just now, in fact, everyone understands. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3618. Uncle G was extremely angry. Did Shui Wanren really remain unmoved? It's just a different way of expressing it. Tai Shiji likes to say something, to fully reveal the thoughts in his heart. As for Shui Wanren's words, it seemed a little deeper. When something happens, I hide it in my heart silently. If it is possible for a while, it will not directly attack. But if you think that's it, then you are very wrong. If he finds the right opportunity, Shui Wanren will be like a quick-moving poisonous bee, quickly sting his opponent, and then directly poison him to death with the strongest poison. In all aspects, isn't that the case? Cousin, our husband, seems to have been robbed. The one who robbed our husband is, still the goddess. What should we do? Concubine Xiang opened her mouth, her face was numb at the moment. While speaking, the corners of his mouth twitched subconsciously, and then he sighed helplessly. In all aspects, don't you just follow the numbness? What else can I say? Mentally, I can't hold back more or less. I feel that the picture in front of me has been completely shattered, and then continues to shatter. Why? Too difficult. Mentality collapsed. I can't play anymore. No. Nothing. Not as bad as we thought. Isn't it just a hug? If it's just a hug, it's nothing. Everything is still under control. Chu Ceci breathed a sigh of relief, and then began to comfort her. All things considered, it really wasn't that bad. Just keep calm in your heart. Real, very real. Stay calm, don't wander off. Is, really just a hug. Them. Ah. In public. Is this the conduct of a goddess? Xiao Liyulai gritted her silver teeth, and the corners of her mouth twitched subconsciously at this moment. There is no need to say more about the others. There are endless feelings in this heart. The messy feeling was about to cover it directly. So difficult. Too difficult. Collapsed. My mind is broken. Nothing. In front of everyone at this moment, this picture is indeed quite interesting. The Athena goddess of wisdom actually stretched out her index finger, then raised Fang Fan's jaw, followed by a playful look at the corner of her mouth, followed by slightly parting her red lips, and silently kissed her. This time the posture was in place, and Fang Fanma was on the spot. Fang Fan breathed out a turbid breath, and wanted to say something, but felt that many words were followed by complete silence. At this moment, just watching helplessly, the corners of his mouth twitched all the time. This. How the hell do you want to play this? There's a lot of gaudy waves. This is a goddess? Is this a female nerve? Kiss labor and capital in public? The corner of Fang Fan's mouth twitched, he tried to resist. But finally chose to give up. It is quite difficult to resist in this situation. There is an inexplicable sense of restraint. For a moment, Fang Fan couldn't help but sigh. It's full of bells and whistles, needless to say anything else, my mentality collapsed on the spot, and I was nothing. Hold on, don't wave. This rhythm must be controlled. After about a few minutes. Lips parted, eyes blurred. Fang Fan opened his mouth, wanting to say something, but the phantom of the goddess had already dissipated before his eyes. Everything is like a dream. Fang Fan stood on the spot, like a dream. Zhuang Shengxiao dreams of butterflies, Wang Daishan entrusts cuckoos. Why? I don't know if the goddess Athena appeared in my dream, or if I appeared in the fantasy dream of the goddess Athena. Drunk. Extremely intoxicated. But I don't know what to say. Fang Fan was deeply moved. At this moment, he licked his lips and shook his head. All kinds of thoughts come to mind. At this moment, the audience has already exploded. This is definitely news. Big news. For a while, the whole audience was in a sensation. If it's not a sensation now, when will it be? Are they all this strong now? In full swing. Everyone's bones became sore. What else can I say? How good is it to just watch silently? This taste is so wonderful. For a while followed by a total aphasia. Her Majesty the Goddess kissed that guy forcibly. Grass. Why not me? I really want to ask too. But who the hell am I asking? Damn it, is this alright? I vomited, I really vomited. Damn it. I'm so envious and jealous. Hey, it seems to be the same. Everyone has an idea. How do you say it? People are born different, calm down, must be calm. It's so real. Day Huskies. He's really having an affair with His Majesty the Goddess. This is definitely the luckiest man in the world. Is he the face of the goddess? Why can he be the face of the goddess, but I can't? Damn it, I'm throwing up. Heh. This wave, I'm really convinced. The atmosphere in the audience was as restless as it could be. Everyone's hearts are extremely complicated. The surging thoughts burst out in an instant, completely destroying everything around it. That's how strong it is. Fang Fan sniffed the fragrance from his fingertips, then shrugged, walked back, and joined everyone. At this moment, the eyes of everyone including Grand Uncle Ji Shui Wanren were a little strange. The expression looks very strange invisibly. The more I look at it, the more my scalp feels numb. Are you, alright? Don't keep staring at me like that. Not so. Fang Fan let out a foul breath, then shrugged indifferently. Fang Fan boy, don't hide it. Be frank and lenient and resist strict. You must know this truth. Tell me, what's going on? Hey. Hey. What's going on? Speak. Speak. When did you hook up with this goddess Athena again? The matter between you and the starry night goddess from the dark camp is not over yet, and here comes another goddess Athena from the light camp. Tisk, Fang Fan boy, you're playing really well. You are in the lower realm, but your heart has already flown to the realm of the gods. You have picked all the flowers in God's domain. Fang Fan boy, you are my role model. Fang Fan, don't be shy, tell us what's going on. Why? Aren't you all curious about what's going on? Boy Fang Fan. Bai Piao danced excitedly. While talking, he hurried over and shouted excitedly. Anyway, I just want to get a wave of first-hand information. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3619. Everyone has the heart of gossip. Not to mention being a gossip king like Bai Piao. I want to say that I don't know anything, do you believe me? Fang Fan shrugged and said calmly. From every point of view, he is indeed in a state of ignorance now. He really didn't know anything about this situation. If it is necessary to involve this matter on him, it really seems unnecessary. It is true that the sense of rhythm in all aspects is in place. Do you think I'll believe it? Boy Fang Fan. You are unreasonable. How familiar we are. Do you still want to hide this from me? Everyone is their own, and everyone understands. Hey, so don't worry about other issues. Let's control the rhythm. Take off, this is the rhythm to take off. Boy Fang Fan. We're all so anxious. Do you have the heart to watch us suffer so much? Boy Fang Fan. Bai Piao wandered around Fang Fan's side. All in all, it's still such a small thing. Anyway, I have been talking on the sidelines all the time, and the more I talk, the more excited I become, the more I talk, the more surging. There is a sense of urgency in the words. It's not just Bai Piao, Tai Shuja, Shui Wanren, Wu Meiling, Xiangfei, Chu Sisi, and others are all waiting for Fang Fan's answer. Cough. Disciple, being a teacher is not gossip. As a teacher, I just want to ask, how did you meet this Athena goddess? How long have you known each other? What's more, are you sure you are not the reincarnation of the true God? Then the goddess Athena is looking for the reincarnation of the supreme true god. Taishaji licked his lips, becoming more and more excited as he spoke. This time his expression changed, and his breathing couldn't help but become rapid. Sometimes I can't help but swallow my saliva all the time. This feeling really took off. Too excited. The full sense of surge is in place. Bastard, er. If you are really the reincarnation of the true God, just tell us, we will definitely keep it a secret for you. From now on, we should treat you with the etiquette of the true God. Why? I'm really not used to it. Don't worry about it, you just say it. I know in my heart. I just hope that even if you regain your true God body, don't forget Xiangfi and Sisi. Why? Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, wriggled his lips and sighed softly while grinding his teeth. All kinds of messy feelings swept through his mind, and at this moment he immediately sighed. Sometimes it feels inexplicably complicated. Husband, you have hooked up with the goddess now, so you don't want us anymore. I feel pity for Xiangfi, and there seemed to be tears welling up in her eyes. All of a sudden, all the words were in place. The more I talk, the more excited I get, the more I talk, the more surging. The other women have similar postures. Now all of them are in a trance. Fang Fan wriggled his lips, really speechless at the moment. What's wrong with this? Still talking? Where did it go? There's a lot of bells and whistles. It's nothing at all. Too much talk. Talk about these things. I'm telling the truth. I really don't know what's going on here. I can swear that I am not familiar with the goddess Athena at all. Why? Maybe she thinks I'm handsome. So she didn't grasp it for a while. She was forced to hug me, and then forced to kiss me. I resisted, but to no avail. It's too difficult for me. Fang Fan sighed, then couldn't help but shook his head and said. In the eyes of others, this is clearly the Versailles remarks. So Versailles? My Majesty, such a charming goddess, I ask you, but you still look like you have been wronged so much. Still resist? Are you sure you're rebelling and not taking it all with excitement? Bells and whistles. Too much gimmicky. It's so slow, I don't understand it at all. Sighing silently, that's probably what happened. The posture should be in place slowly. I do not believe. Fang Fan boy, I don't know who you are. When something good happens to you, can you still resist? Unless you're not a man. Why? Why doesn't this kind of peach blossom from heaven happen to me? Difficult. It's too difficult. Why does such a good thing have nothing to do with me? It's not fair. Unbalanced. You kid has already hugged left and right, shouldn't God take care of the feelings of us single dogs? What true God and goddess? I don't even have the slightest idea of helping all living beings. Bai Piao twitched her lips, and then couldn't help complaining all over the place. The more she talked, the more resentful she became, and then she couldn't help gritting her teeth, looking hopeless. True God bless. Right. After the blessing of the true God, the general cultivation base can increase by several levels. Fang Fan, how is your health? How many levels have you been promoted? This is a rare opportunity in a million years. Shui Wanren's eyes lit up, and he immediately reminded him from the side, with an excited expression on his face as he spoke. Fang Fan. Promoted cultivation base. Forward. This. No. My cultivation is still the same. It's still a 5-star peak sanctuary realm. Nothing has changed. Fang Fan was at a loss, this was the first time he had heard of this. But if the blessing of the true God can really improve his cultivation, isn't he a blood loss? The opportunity wasted like this? Fang Fan exhaled a breath of foul air, his expression and eyes changed very vividly. The mentality is more or less broken. This huge benefit, if you say no, it will be gone? No. How can that be possible? The few records of the true God's blessings have been limited, and they have all improved their cultivation. Unless you are a demigod, except for those who are difficult to promote directly. It's not that there has been a situation where a cultivator in the holy state has been directly promoted to the demigod state after receiving the blessing of the true God. You are just an ordinary sanctuary, it is impossible not to improve your cultivation level. Wrong. I remember you weren't from Samsung Sanctuary before. Or is it a 4-star early stage sanctuary? This cultivation base, why has it suddenly improved by leaps and bounds? Isn't this the special effect of the blessing of the true God? Shui Wanren glanced at Fang Fan, felt Fang Fan's cultivation, and then said subconsciously. When was the old calendar? Before accepting the blessing of the true God, I had already been promoted to the 5-star peak sanctuary realm. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3620. Fang Fan shrugged, then said calmly. He still has this confidence. The sense of rhythm in all aspects also needs to be grasped in place. It still seems more real. Fang Fan was indeed in the initial stage of the 4-star sanctuary before, but because he found the mind-protecting state of light, he completed the stage task of 9 armors in one, and then Fang Fan's cultivation was raised from the initial stage of the 4-star sanctuary to 5-star, the first stage of sanctuary. After that, I encountered Chu Sisi's promotion from the middle-level saint to the high-level saint. At that time, when Chu Sisi was promoted, something went wrong, and a part of the energy was transferred to Fang Fan's body through fusion, which made Fang Fan's cultivation base rise from the 5-star initial stage of the sanctuary to the 5-star peak sanctuary. I came here after that, and I was blessed by this so-called true God. Before and after the blessing of the true God, Fang Fan's cultivation has not changed at all. Could it be that such a good opportunity was missed? Really? Karma retribution is not good. Fang Fan boy, look, this is the retribution. Why? Who made you flirt with Goddess Athena all the time? I still kiss and hug and hold high. It's all right now, kissing and hugging has indeed come true, but don't even think about improving your cultivation. You cannot have it both ways. Bai Piao excitedly danced beside him. This guy seemed quite excited. The more he talked, the more he felt gloating. Maybe it's because of this. After all, there are too many interactions between you and Her Majesty the Goddess. Why? Your luck is too strong. If I had realized your luck earlier, I would have hidden my daughter in snow. In any case, I can't be attacked by you bastard. Shui Wanren gritted his teeth, with a look of remorse on his face, his teeth itching with hatred. Why? At the beginning, it should have been split up more vigorously, but now it is fine, and now the uncooked rice has been cooked. What else can I say? In other words, all of this has come to an end. Of course, there is no need to say more about the other ones. For it, I'm afraid, probably, shouldn't be able to make it in time. If I remember correctly, it was the first time we met. This kid Fang Fan made Xiangfei a disaster. The second time we met was at the Tower of Light. Cough, what happened at that time? I have been tortured for many hours. Why? It used to be too difficult for water. Thinking about it gives me a headache. Bai Piao muttered, and couldn't help complaining from the side. I don't need to say much about the others, anyway, the more I talk now, the more excited I get. While speaking, his expression changed. This guy is totally here to make a fuss. It's okay if you don't say it, but if you say it this way, won't the situation change accordingly? Fang Fan could clearly feel that the Deputy Palace Master Shui Wanren could no longer hold back the knife. For a moment, the weapon in his hand was about to be unsheathed. If you are not careful, you will do it directly. This situation is very dangerous. Fang Fan glared at Bai Piao. This guy is really flamboyant. If you find an opportunity, you must rectify the wave, otherwise how can this work? Deputy Palace Master. Fang Fan saw that something was wrong with Shui Wanren's face, and he was about to explain something. Ah! He he. He he he. Shui Wanren gritted his teeth and sneered all the time. For a moment, Fang Fan inexplicably felt a little creepy. Good guy. It's kind of scary. Good. Very good. I didn't expect you to be like Fang Fan. Shui Wanren stepped forward and patted Fang Fan's shoulder. His teeth were about to be crushed. The state of this old father-in-law is not quite right. This anger value has already reached its peak. But I have been enduring, just not venting. Fang Fan was silent for a moment. This matter, it's not over. Go to the Prota city. Hurry up and investigate. Don't let me see you. I want to hug you and blow myself up. The veins on Shui Wanren's forehead were bulging, and while he was talking, he pulled Bai Piao from the side, and then began to beat him back and forth. Ah! Cao. What's the situation? Deputy Palace Master, why are you beating me? That kid Fang Fan did it? Good guy. It has nothing to do with me. Deputy Palace Master, why are you punching like crazy? You hit the wrong person. I'm so innocent. I'll tip you off, am I wrong? Cao. Bai Piao was crying, and while talking at the moment, he rolled his eyes crazily. This mentality has long since collapsed with blood. The more I talk, the more I get a headache, and the more I talk, the more my brain breaks down. Standing there so numbly at this moment, the whole person was completely ignorant. Play. Play what? Nothing. Damn it. It's husky time. Bai Piao now has infinite grievances in his heart and wants to vent them out. I am too difficult. This shit has something to do with him having a hammer. If you don't hit you, who will you hit? That's what you kid did. If you don't say it, how can the Deputy Palace Master be so angry? Isn't it your fault? Shui Wanren spoke uprightly. Bai Piao has a hammer relationship with me. What the hell? You still have this? What kind of logic is this? Then why don't you hit Fang Fan? This kid is the culprit. Bai Piao was about to cry. Don't bring such a bully. Is it because he is easy to bully, so he bullies and bullies like this? Is that the case? Good guy. Is this interesting? This mentality is bloody. Play. How to play? No matter how I play, I can't move. The whole person immediately went numb. If I hit Fang Fan, my daughter Xiangfi, I will feel bad. How do I fight? So I can only wrong you. You will accept the beating of Fang Fan as a bastard. Aren't you brothers and sisters on weekdays? Since we are all brothers, we should help each other. It's not a big problem. Shui Wanren nodded, then said calmly, and then swung his sandbag-sized fist towards Bai Piao again. The corner of Bai Piao's mouth twitched, and now he doesn't want to say anything. It felt like something was stuck in his throat, preventing him from saying anything. Oh shit. Mental collapse. The cool moonlight is being fully practiced to the end. Why? Too difficult. I am more wrong than Doi. I'm the world's #1 backer. Fang Fan boy, I was beaten for you, shouldn't you show something? Cao. It's not light to bear. Your little arms and legs must not be able to bear it. From this point of view, I saved your life.